An Arkansas family is suing a county jail after a man was arrested during a mental health crisis. He died of malnutrition and dehydration while in custody. Larry Eugene Price Jr. was arrested in August of 2020 and taken to the Sebastian County jail. Price suffered from severe mental illness, including schizophrenia. He could not afford the $100 bail and waited a year in prison in solitary confinement. He reportedly ate his own excrement and refused his medication. The photos you are seeing or about to see are quite graphic and may be triggering. At the time of his arrest, he was 6'2" tall, weighed 185 pounds. When he died a year later in August of 2021, he weighed just 90 pounds. Eugene Price's brother, Rodney Price, is suing Turnkey Health Clinics, LLC, the healthcare corporation providing medical services to people at the jail, a turnkey psychiatrist and nurse, and several other unnamed defendants. The lawsuit claims the jail staff was not equipped to safely manage a patient like Mr. Price on a long-term basis. It did not have sufficient staffing or training to provide him with safe, effective care. My panel, Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for the Environmental Justice EPA, Randy Bryant, diversity and inclusion strategist, speaker, trainer, and writer, Dr. Jason Nichols, senior lecturer, African American Studies Department, University of Maryland, College Park. Mustafa, I'll start with you. First of all, this is what we talk about when people talk about ending cash bail. If you have those policies in place, that man is not sitting in solitary for a whole year. If that's the case, Sandra Bland is not sitting in jail as well. And so when you have these people who are against that, well, there are people who have no business being in jail. A year in solitary confinement because he couldn't make $100 bail.
Yeah, we have a broken system in our country, and one that, of course, focuses on black and brown folks and exploits them in so many different ways. You know, the United States Civil Rights Commission shared a report that showed that 60% of folks who are dealing with this type of situation cannot afford their bail. And we also know that for first-time offenders, it's like between $500 and $2,500 for the bail that people can't even make. So for this brother to be in this situation, it's just so egregious that they would allow these types of things to happen, for his life to be taken, for there be no processes in place to step in when you see someone losing that type of weight. It sounds like they also didn't have the proper mental sort of situations in place, making sure that the right types of therapy and individuals are in place to make sure that he had what he needed. But it all goes back to the fact that folks should not be sitting in jail in these types of situations.
Jason.
So to me, this is, especially tragic. One of the things that we need to do, particularly with our incarcerated population, is to improve the health care. There's no way you see a man who's 6'2". I'm 6'2", and I weigh about 180 pounds, and I'm a slim guy. If you see a man getting down to that weight, then he needs severe medical treatment. He needs help. And instead, they watched him waste away and lose 100 pounds and die. There's no way you can tell me that the staff saw this man who came in at a particular weight and saw him get down to the point where he can't walk, I'm sure, and said, oh, everything's okay, we're going to continue. And I can tell you, my wife works at an HIV clinic, and they had someone who was incarcerated. They usually don't deal with incarcerated people, but one person came in or was, brought in, and then he brought back to the jail, and they had to call the jail staff and tell them that this man had elevated blood pressure and he needed blood pressure treatment. And they had to argue with the jail staff the entire day trying to get this man life-saving medications for his high blood pressure. So there are some serious changes we need to make, not only to our bail system. We all know about Khalif Browder. We all know about the situations where people are sitting in jail. We know that there are effective alternatives like ankle monitoring and other things you can do if you think that these things are a problem. But the health care, to see a man starve to death. This wasn't a heart attack or something acute. This is something that happened over weeks and weeks and weeks. And to see that and to let it happen, I think is a crime. Those people should be behind bars.
And that's the piece there, Randy. It's not just a civil suit. It really should be criminal charges filed as well.
Absolutely should be criminal charges, and really the entire system we need to completely revamp, as my brothers have said today. Bail, Black people are given bail and have a bail sentence more than any other race, of course, just like the criminal system always takes poor care of us. And also when bail is set, our fees are much higher. The bail amount is much higher for Black people. So this is an issue that we should all consider for our entire race.
It, again, is really shameful there. So our goal is to have the family on later this week. So we certainly hope that happens. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about Blackness and what happens in Black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in Black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.